What do I do when my child wants to quit jiu-jitsu? I think every child goes through that moment where they don't want to go jiu-jitsu, and that could be happening through a variety of reasons. And as a parent, I would encourage you to understand why they don't want to go to jiu-jitsu, but truly understand. Is there a reason behind that? Are they hesitant because it's a lot of work? Or are they hesitant because they got beat up a little bit? Or are they hesitant because they don't understand? Or maybe they don't want to go because it's not fun for them, right? So understanding the reasoning, the underlying reasoning why your child is unwilling or hesitant to go to jiu-jitsu is extremely important, because that's when we can really help them. The bottom line is, depending on the age, but I'm going to disregard like the teens from like 13 and up, but everybody below 13, often we find ourselves in a spot where kids don't want to go to jiu-jitsu because jiu-jitsu is hard. It is complicated. It is a lot of work. And it's easier for us to sit in front of TV and relax, or run outside with our friends, or play video games. So there are much easier things in life that they could be enjoying versus being on a mat and grinding and putting themselves in vulnerable positions. So as a parent, we have the responsibility of really understanding what is going on, how successful they are, and is it really fun for them? And if really isn't, maybe perhaps it is time to take a break. But before you do that, this is the important part. Before you say, let's take a break, there's few things that I think every parent should do. One is understanding why. Two is talking to the instructors and talking to the coaches. Because something very simple like pairing up a child with another child could change the way how they look at jiu-jitsu. It could motivate them, but it could also discourage them. So there is a very fine line how our training partners motivate and discourage us, especially with the kids. Two is the child being challenged. We often look at it as my child is bored, but why are they bored? Is not because jiu-jitsu is not interesting. Jiu-jitsu is phenomenal point of interest for a lot of kids. But sometimes when a child is not stimulated, they are simply bored in a class. That's when they lose the interest. So talking to instructors and see what the behavior in the class is. Is he interested? Is she engaged? Is she asking questions? Is she a good training partner? Is she a leader? Is he challenging their partners? Are they working together? Those questions should be asked for the instructors, or should be asked the instructors. And I don't know if you have opportunity to watch the class. Some academies allow watching the classes, others don't. That's for you to figure out what's the dynamic within the academy you find yourself in. But watch the child as well. Don't just be on your phone and play video games or talk or text. Actually engage in a class and see what is happening. Another thing that you can do is engaging at home. And you can ask your child, what did you learn? Show me what you learned. I mean, nothing has to be perfect, but honestly, that engagement between parent and child is critical. It's critical to child success. So create even 5 or 10 minutes after class and find yourself on the carpet in the living room and show me the armbar. How do you execute the choke? How do you escape? How do you transition? What did you learn? What did coaches taught you today? What was the message in the class? Where's the big takeaways that you had from your jiu-jitsu training today? Who did you spar with? How did it go? Was it successful or not so much successful? How can we improve? What can you do better? I mean, there's a million questions how we can challenge our child and continue being involved in their journey off the mat. Off the mat. Remember, this is not you teaching them class in Jiu-Jitsu Academy, but having these conversations at home. And then there's one more factor, talking to the instructors. And I don't mean the child, I'm talking about the parent, really engaging with them and having a deeper understanding. Privates are always available at the academies. There is additional cost often associated with them, but that's simply because it comes from one-on-one engagement between the coaches and the children. So you have to think about this, how much you want to invest into that child. And I don't mean monetary, guys. I'm talking about just from time, effort perspective. But I've seen it over and over and over where children were getting bored on a mat. And yet, the moment that discovery took place and minor changes in the training took place, it's like a new child. That little boy is so interested, is so driven, pushing it harder, and is working like never has before. That little girl now is a leader to others and is motivating their peers or her peers and is leading the class. So all of these opportunities are fully available to the instructors as well to the parents. The point is, don't check out. Really understand what is happening. Be engaged in the class and at home from a jiu-jitsu perspective. And I'll tell you, the biggest win-win for every child is when their parents or parent trains jiu-jitsu. Here in my academy, we have several families that train all together, mom, dad, and a child. But even if it's just a dad or if it's just a mom, that relationship is irreplaceable. You will not find anything else like it. When a child trains jiu-jitsu and then one of the parents trains jiu-jitsu and they actually have the ability to train at home and create that bond, that jiu-jitsu bond between them two. If you have any questions specifically on that topic, feel free to reach out to me. On Instagram particularly, it's Rozhinsky BJJ. Find me there, reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. I have kids of my own and I'm really passionate about this topic particularly. So don't hesitate to ask. Peace.